What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a brand new football video. Let's talk about Zinedine Zidane leaving Real Madrid after a hugely, insanely successful 2.5 years. Probably the most successful manager in such a short period of time in football history. He won 9 of the 13 trophies that Real Madrid could win when he was the manager. He won 3 Champions League trophies in a row in 2.5 years. I mean, he has more Champions League trophies than Jose Mourinho, for example. He won the Spanish League once, he won the Spanish Super Cup once, he won the UEFA Super Cup twice, and he won the FIFA Club World Cup twice as well. What do you think about this news that Zinedine Zidane dropped this bombshell just days after winning the Champions League, that he is leaving Real Madrid? And I will be honest, he was one of my all-time favorite footballers growing up. Alongside Steven Gerrard, I really enjoyed watching Zinedine Zidane play football. And he only won the Champions League once in his playing career. And if you guys are old enough to know how good of a player Zinedine Zidane was, you know that it's absolutely insane that he won the Champions League 3 seasons in a row. In just 3 seasons as being the manager of Real Madrid. Absolutely mind-blowing. And there is a lot of speculation why he is leaving Real Madrid. But if you look at the age of the squad and if you look at the quotes by Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale after the Champions League final, this Real Madrid team could be ripped apart in this summer transfer window. And probably Zinedine Zidane wanted to quit at the top while he can, because next season, and I heard that this season he would have been sacked if Real Madrid didn't win the Champions League, because they finished a whopping 17 points behind Barcelona, and they also got knocked out by Leganes in the Spanish League. And there is an argument to be had that Zinedine Zidane's training methods didn't work really in terms of his league form suffered really badly, and he couldn't really fix Real Madrid's league season because they have dropped so many points. Not one of the most disappointing league campaigns by Real Madrid. Of course, their whole season was saved by winning the Champions League, but if you take a look at the Champions League and how they performed, and if you look beyond the results, there were games where they were outplayed by Tottenham, by Juventus, by Bayern Munich, and certainly in the first 30 minutes by Liverpool as well. So you could see the cracks appearing, and maybe Zinedine Zidane knows that this team reached its peak and it's all going downhill after this. And if Gareth Bale leaves, or if Cristiano Ronaldo leaves, or if the unthinkable happens and both leave, then Real Madrid have a huge rebuilding job to do. And yes, they have almost unlimited amounts of money, but still there are not many players in the world who you could argue that could be a good enough replacement for Cristiano Ronaldo, who is probably the second best player in the world right now, or Gareth Bale, who is, in my opinion, in the top 10 best players in the world. There are not many players running about who could Real Madrid buy to replace them. And there is no guarantee that even then Real Madrid's success would continue. And Zinedine Zidane is the first manager under Florentino Perez who is not sacked. And I think he jumped ship before he was pushed, basically, because next season, if Real Madrid didn't win the league or didn't win the Champions League, Zinedine Zidane would have got sacked, and he didn't want that feeling. He didn't want his days at Real Madrid to end in a failure, and this is how you end it. Right at the top, just days after winning the Champions League. Absolutely incredible achievement by Zinedine Zidane. The big question is, even though he said that he will not manage another club in the near future, Pep Guardiola said that he was going on a sabbatical. Jurgen Klopp said that, but both managers, when the right club came calling, jumped into management again. And I will be honest guys, I would love to see Zinedine Zidane in the Premier League, and there are talks that he could become the next Chelsea manager. But even Manchester United are mentioned in the papers today, because Jose Mourinho only has 1 year left on his contract, and the Manchester United board are not 100% happy with how Mourinho is doing at Man United. He still haven't won the league title, which Man United want the most, and he didn't win a trophy this season. He lost the FA Cup final. So all in all, it wasn't the most successful season by Manchester United standards, and Mourinho probably gets one more season, but if he fails to win the league next season as well, and if the playing style doesn't improve significantly, Man United could be looking elsewhere. And Jose Mourinho can be worried now, because there are some big managers hanging about, like Zinedine Zidane or Sarri, who used to be the Napoli manager, and he broke all kinds of records for Napoli, but they couldn't win the Serie A because Juventus just had an even more outstanding, even better season. Absolutely crazy. The big question is, out of this manager merry-go-round, who will be the next manager of Chelsea? Who will be the next manager of Real Madrid? Who will be the next manager of potentially Tottenham if Pochettino goes to Real Madrid, or Man United if Mourinho is not successful next year? There are so many possibilities, there's so many questions, and I find this fascinating. I just really love talking about this, because also France, after the World Cup, Didier Deschamps could step down, and it would be the perfect job for Zinedine Zidane, because it's not as intense as the daily grind of being a manager of a football club. To be a manager of a national team is less of a grind. You can have some off days, and you don't really have to work every single day, just watch games and monitor players, and so it would be a better job for Zidane if he wants to have some rest in the next 1-2 years. The big question is, you know, what will Zidane do? Because Zidane said that he ran out of gas, and he doesn't think that he can put new ideas forward to the players. And also, if you look at the Real Madrid squad, I mean Ronaldo, Modric, Benzema, Sergio Ramos, all their key players are above 30 years old, some even 32, 33 years old. So in the next 1 or 2 years, they might need to be replaced, or they might start to decline. And Real Madrid are a ruthless club, so if a player doesn't perform week in and week out, he will be out, even if it is Sergio Ramos, even if it is Modric. Real Madrid will sell them, no question about it. And Zidane probably didn't think that he was the best suited for rebuilding Real Madrid. He wanted, to win as many trophies as possible in a short period of time, because now his stock as a manager is sky high. At the moment, probably alongside Guardiola, Mourinho, Jurgen Klopp and Antonio Conte, maybe Diego Simeone as well. Real Madrid manager, former manager Zinedine Zidane is one of the most sought after managers and one of the most highly rated managers. There is also mention of Arsene Wenger going to Real Madrid. That would be fascinating. Florentino Perez actually did pursue him in the past, but Arsene Wenger made a promise to Arsenal that he doesn't leave them while they are rebuilding their finances after building the Emirates Stadium. But Arsene Wenger is now free, and Real Madrid doesn't have a manager, so you can put 2 and 2 together, and they could be a very interesting story. I would actually love to see that happen, just to see what Arsene Wenger could do with a world-class club, absolutely filled to the rafters with world-class players. Because I think at Arsenal he was restricted by the finances, by Arsenal not being able to finally buy the best players available. Real Madrid can buy the best players available, and I would actually love to see what Arsene Wenger could do with the funds that Real Madrid have. That would be a very interesting situation, in my opinion. Antonio Conte's future is still up in the air, but he could be a contender for the Real Madrid manager job. And if Antonio Conte gets sacked, and it's very likely because Chelsea had a bitterly disappointing season, but in the end that season was crowned by an FA Cup trophy, so it made it a little bit better. if Antonio Conte gets sacked, even Zidane could go to Chelsea. I can see that happening. Chelsea can pay Zidane's wages, and that would be fascinating. As I said, I would love to see somebody like Arsene Wenger managing Real Madrid, just to see what he can do with the world-class players. And also, I would love to see Zinedine Zidane in the Premier League, the most competitive, most ruthless and brutal league in the world. I would love to see him here, just to see what he can do in the Premier League. So let me know what you think about this news, and thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like if you did. See you later. Goodbye.